Okay guys, so I did put everything back together and I was testing out the wipers and they did work just for a couple of wipes and then they stopped working. Still hear the motor moving. I'm pretty sure one of the bushings had broken off. I did purchase some Dorman aftermarket bushings for the wiper assembly and I'm gonna have to replace the one that had broken. In order to take this back off, I really don't want to try to force it in like how I did last time. It's not forced, but just don't like how it was going in. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take off the hood so I easily could just take off the parts, put them back on without much of a problem. I feel like it's going to be a lot faster and a lot easier on myself. I'm going to have to take off the wiper nozzles on the hood. They still operate, and I'm going to have to take off the bolts, these 410s, be able to take the hood off. But if you guys saw my other video, I did get the JDM front end. I'm going to put the JDM hood on there because it does have the insulator. Even though it has the additional dents on there, you know, I'm not really tripping on that. Other thing I was thinking of is to take off these hinges. They're already pretty rusted, just a little bit of light surface rust, but I was thinking to just spray them with some epoxy, some black epoxy, and would look a little bit cleaner up in the engine bay here whenever you open the hood, and with the wiper cowl, you know, being nice and clean now. Everything is taken off. Took the hood off, the hinges, the wiper cowl, the weather stripping, you know, just took everything completely off. Got the hood right here, and over here is the problem that we're having for the wipers. If you see on the bushings there, that one is completely disconnected. Should have a white cap that goes right over it like this one. And then this other cap right here is pretty loose. If you guys see right here, see all that movement? That cap is basically ready to pop off. Need to change that one out. Need to change this other one. Really, all of these should be changed out. They're pretty old. Make this completely right. Don't have to take this off again. I think I'm gonna go ahead and try to change them all. I bought this from AutoZone, Dorman 49464. Hopefully some of these should fit onto the wiper assembly. I might have to buy another box of this in order to change out some of the other ones. I've replaced 2 of the bushings so far. Got the main one, the first one that broke, and then the other one that was loose that I showed you, I replaced that. I'm going to show you exactly how I replace them. When I was replacing the one behind here, this other one just basically fell out. If you could see, it has a crack right there. It looks like all the bottom side over the years it's just kind of worn out. I did have to buy another box of these bushings. Here's the box right here. So 2 of them are the ones that we don't need. Is the one with the little center plastic. Those do not fit on here. You need the other one. So there's 2 of those, and then 2 of the ones you don't need. Right here is the one we need. If you see, it's the one without the plastic inside of there. And so firstly, what we want to do is put it onto the metal before putting it onto the actual ball joint. So if you want to just press this on, or you could use the plastic hammer to get it on. And here, just turn it around the other way. You could use the concrete to kind of put some force. Or also, I do have some pliers right here. And then you could just push it on up. Alright, and once you got that popped on, you just come over here and you just pop it onto there. And for that, you could use the plastic hammer. And just like that, it's right on there. All of the bushings have been replaced. I cleaned off all the old grease, put in some new lithium white grease. We should be good to go now. So this can be completely installed, reinstalled into the car. Shouldn't have any issues with it. And so that's what I'm gonna do right now. The wiper assembly is in, and then also if I did tape this up, this section up, use the wire wheel to take off some of the rust that's underneath the hinge for the hood, and just sprayed some VHT epoxy satin black paint as well for the other side. You guys could take a look. If anything, this side had the most rust on there. You know, I'm just trying to prevent as much rust as I can for the meantime, especially with the hood hinge kind of sandwiching in between. You know, a lot of dirt and a lot of water hiding in between there. It just promotes rust, and hopefully with the epoxy it prevents that. If anything, it'll slow it down. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna put the wiper arms back on and spray the windshield with some water and just wipe it. Just because I did mess with the wiper assembly, I have to kind of reset them, because more than likely I kind of moved one of the arms one way or the other, and need to make sure they line up. So whenever I put everything back on, you know, don't have the wipers going all types of ways and out of adjustment. This also makes sure that the caps that I put on the bushings tightly secured, making sure everything works before slapping everything back on, not having to take stuff off in the future. So just had to reset. Sometimes they go lower than expected, higher than expected. In this case they went lower, so I had to just let them go where they were going at, disconnect the arms, reset them back onto the windshield, just wipe it again, make sure they're staying where I need them to, and I just moved them a couple of times, just making sure the bushings are holding together. And so now I'm gonna start working on the hinges for the hood. Just try to get some paint on those, take off some of the rust, and then we'll be able to stick everything onto here. So I wire wheeled and sanded down the hinges for the hood. They're probably about 90% rust free. There's some rust in the corner there I can't really get with my fingers, and right there in some crevices. To really get the rust off of the hinges, you know, you're gonna have to put them inside of a sandblaster to get all those little crevices. But for the meantime, this should really do the job. I'm getting ready to spray them with black satin VHT epoxy paint. I'm gonna put about 3 coats on these, and then we could start putting the wiper cowl on. So let me go ahead and hit these with a few coats. So there is 3 coats of paint on the hinges, VHT epoxy satin black paint. Picked this up from AutoZone. This is a pretty good epoxy, spray can epoxy that I've been using here recently, past few months. If you have little quick projects or you just want to protect it from rust, I really would recommend the VHT epoxy satin black. It looks factory for the most part, and it lays down pretty nicely on the part. Now putting the hinges back onto the car, I'm going to be using some Downstar hardware, gold zinc with the black beauty washer. I think it's really going to look nice on the car. Just add that little bit of extra detail onto the hinges.
Chuki beat.
Alright guys, so the camera had died while I was putting everything on, but just as the other video, you know, of course, just put on the little clips, the weather stripping, some of the Downstar hardware, put on the wiper arms, also the hood hinges. Now you guys can see them here. Looks very nice, just blends in with the cowl there, and then and so you don't have that eyesore of just having that orange rust there. Here is the JDM hood. If you guys did not see the other video, it does have the insulator, optional insulator, of course the stickers that are underneath the hood, all in Japanese writing. Like I said, it does have some additional dents on here, some scratches. You can see a dent right there, a little bit of scratches. That's pretty much it. I hope you guys learned something about fixing the wiper linkage. So if your wipers are not working, you could go ahead and fix them yourself without having to buy a new linkage assembly. Hope you guys really liked this video and found it very helpful. Of course, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna catch you on that next one,